Hey everybody, Infinity Dawn, Ed, Jan, Rex, Sergio. Hey everybody, how's it going? It is 30 minutes of awesome. Welcome to the show. Oops, something in my glasses. Hold on a second. Something right in where like sparkly, right where I was looking. There we go. Much better. Much better. Now there's a smudge right there. But I'll deal with it, I guess. Anyway, hey Ted. Glad to have you. We got GDP numbers coming out later in the week. We've got PCE numbers coming out later in the week. That does on Thursday and Friday. And then we'll do 30 minutes of requests. So hold that off before we get to the show. And hopefully we get some more people. It's awful light right now. Only about 20 people on the stream. We'll see what we get to. Anyway. Alrighty. So before we get into any of that, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. This presentation intended to be informational, educational, fun, and entertaining. It is not a recommendation to buy or sell any financial instrument. If you desire personal financial advice, you need to hire and consult a financial advisor. That means don't buy stocks, don't buy options, don't buy forex, don't buy futures, don't buy cryptos, don't buy bonds, don't buy treasuries, don't long them, don't short them, don't trade them, and don't buy stuff from people like me. Don't buy stuff from gurus unless you trust them. That's the whole deal. And even personal, even a financial advisor, make sure you trust them before you hire them. Carlene, Joseph, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. And it might be a short show if we don't get more people on the stream, but hey, it's the way it is. It's the way it is. All right. So jumping over. Hey, Kimberly's here. Kimberly, my favorite subscriber. Man, did you see AMD moving today? That was a pretty sweet move. Did a 30-minute roadmap bounce right there. That high, that low. Came up just shy of the target right there at 175. But that was pretty sweet. It was even on the 1 hour chart too. Right there, coming up just shy of the target. Might get there tomorrow. Pretty dang sweet. Pretty dang sweet. And now we got 37, 39, 40. Yeah, we're climbing a little bit. Howdy from Texas. Kimberly was out there yesterday morning. But not anymore. Now she's home. Anyway, so jumping over to the red list, where we usually hang out for 30 minutes of awesome. Awesome. Jumping to the futures. This is ES futures right here. Working on a little bit of a correction here. Came up, found a high, and then dropped some more. I don't know. Is this indicative of a top? Are the bulls cracking? We did close green on the day, but that was not exactly the most bullish. That's kind of I don't know. Would you call it an inside doji? It's definitely inside the red one. Inside doji, that's just indecision. That leaves the range. That high to that low. Which one do we break out? I don't know. Whichever one we break out of first, it usually sets the direction. Now it could just fake out too. It could pop and drop or drop and pop. Either way, still think we need to hit that target. Now, ES is S&P 500 futures. I'm looking at that because, well, it just closed a second ago. It'll be back open at 6 o'clock and my phone will go off as it always does during 30 minutes of awesome. So we'll see what happens there. And in Q, trying to push a little higher, still an inside day. Same kind of candle structure right there. That red candle right there, still sitting inside. A little bit more than a doji, but not really taking us higher either at this point. Russell, that's an inside day, but it's down lower and looks biased to the downside at this point. Oil kept rallying strong, pushed through the roadmap line. Beautiful close on oil. Want to see this push on up, and it looks like it's probably going up to 83.75-ish right now. Maybe heading 90 if we can get above that 83. And we get above that 83, 80, 75, 80 area right there. Get above that. Odds are it's like 70% likely. And I've been working on some serious statistics right now. I've been back testing this roadmap pattern, this thing I turn on occasionally right here. Been testing that on a lot of tickers. I have a list of 3,600 tickers, and I'm checking it on the daily chart. gotten through over almost 18,000 trades so far. 74% of the time we go hit that target up there. Once we get above the 618. 618, all it takes is daily close above that. Triggers the entry. Boom. And 80% right here on oil. So each ticker kind of has its own like characteristics. I mean, I have to say tickers in the E range brought the average down a bit. It was running pretty high and then went through the E's. I've done all the A's, all the B's, all the C's, all the D's, all the E's now. Just started into the F's, and the E's kind of brought the average down a little bit. So there's a lot of weird E stuff. When I actually have the list right here. I've got it broken up in TradingView. Will only let you have 1,000 tickers on a list if you didn't know. But getting down in here, ran into this EW junk and just ate the average a little bit. It's like all the BlackRock, EWA, EWC, EWD, EWG, EWH, EWI, J, L, N, N, P, Q, T. Like those all just have horrible. I mean, there's the one that worked, but in general, they have pretty crap. You can see the averages down through here, 52%. So not awesome on those. But so I'm going through here, and I'm actually back testing not just that. I'm actually doing it for as much data as I can possibly pull all the way back to the beginning, and then generating the report for each one of these over and over and over, and pulling the data. So eventually I'll get done. I'm only about 1,100 tickers through the list of 3,600 tickers. So it's going to take me a few days, more than likely. Look at I've got it broken up into 4 pieces. I got 851, 907, 988, and then 866. And some of these tickers that are on here are crap and get removed as we go along. So what's JT working on? That. And I'm going to automate alerts on those 3,600 tickers right there. So that's coming down the road. So if you're not a member of Termite Trading Lab, it may be a while before you see that. So not available to the general public at this point. And back to the red list. Jumping back to oil, where I was talking about the awesome chance that we're going to see a rally. And where did it go? Right. Golly, I keep skipping around. Right there, oil. So then Brent looks very similar, trying to bounce. Kind of like didn't break above the roadmap line though. Look at that. Held right on it. Right on it. Lower high. So that's a divergence between light sweet crude in the United States and European oil right there. A little bit lower. Gasoline. Not showing the enthusiasm for going higher yet, but we've got that downtrend line of the high right there. Watch for that break right above that. Then it's probably going to be bullish. Then heating oil, we're coming in there right near. Ooh, that's going to be a swift rally right back up to the roadmap line probably. Natural gas turning down off that downtrend line. Look at that. Downtrend line, 1, 2, 3. Might go lower low. Be careful. That may be the end of the rally in natural gas. The support is right there. If we can hold it and turn higher, we could break above. If we get below that support, probably going lower low. That's kind of the indicator right there. If we get below that roadmap line, probably going on down here. Make a lower low around $1.33. If we bounce off, we can break out and go on up to above $3. Possibly. That was kind of a double touch. We hit the 618 and the downtrend line. So that could put us on up here 42. Let's see. I got the deep back testing. Let's just go with the regular. 83% of the time. If we can get the daily close up here, probably cruising on up. Probably hit $4. That's a high probability thing right there. Load some UNG if we get that triggered off right there. Now, how long would it take? You may say, this is a one-day chart. Usually takes 76 days right there. 76 trading days to go from here to up there. So make sure you have enough time. Don't run out of time. And GC, Man, I got a lot of crap drawn on that chart. Let's just clean it off. Wipe it clean. So right here, the key thing we've done, retrace to the 618 level and hold. That could be a measured bounce. If it indeed does do it, probably be headed right up here near 2600. Right in there. 2580. Let's call it 2585. Probably go cruising right up there next. If we can do the bounce, how do you know when we've done the bounce? We break above that prior high, and it's probably game on for getting right on up there. Probably. That's pretty sweet right there. Silver. Hey, it's all about high probability patterns, right? You got to be able to do a high probability pattern. You got to be able to find a high probability pattern. You got to be able to prove a high probability pattern. Once you do, you just got to be able to trade it and be disciplined in trading it. So that's part of this whole game. You got to be patience and discipline to find the stuff. And silver right there. Look at that baby. Probably heading. That's what I want to see gold doing right there. That kind of bounce. Beautiful, beautiful bounce. What that did though was that back tested the breakout and then launched off. And we want to see continuation right up into the 35 area. And then I'll have to, then it's decision time. Do I close my silver position that's up like 7,000%, or it'd probably be up 8 or 9, 10, 12. I don't know. It'd probably be up some ridiculous percent when we get up here. And do I close it or do I keep waiting on it? I'll have to debate it. I bought it for like $6 and it's worth like $4 or something like that. I bought it for literally 6 cents a contract, and it's now worth like $4 a contract. So get it straight there. So that's a ridiculous gain right there. Bought it for 6 pennies, way down here. Now it's worth almost $4 and probably worth 5 or 6. Well, 3 more bucks, so $7 maybe. That's 10,000% gain. If not better. Yeah, better. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Anyway. Maybe like, how do you get on that, JT? Well, way late now. Opportunity's gone. And copper gives me concern here. This is not the kind of thing I would want to see on bullish continuation here for copper. Lumber, also not bullish continuation. That's a weird gap too. That had to be a contract. This has to be contract gaps in there. It's really weird. Oh, what a nasty chart. Such a nasty chart. The old lumber chart was so clean. This is so nasty. I don't like it at all. Housing. Yeah, we got to go up to a weekly chart to see it. And cruising on up. Probably going to hit the 357 up there. It's housing futures. So, all right. We've got sugar and wheat and corn. If anybody wants to see anything else on there, you can request it when we get there. And let's hit Bitcoin real quick before we get over to... So Bitcoin did something interesting today. I thought it was kind of interesting. Held a higher low. See, we dropped right there, pulled up, dropped. We could do a third move on this correction here. Certainly had something I have in mind that might happen. But as we got into the close, the interesting thing it did, it started rallying really strongly. Right there at 230. Came up, hit that 15-minute, lower high. So that gives me caution, but it did a really swift reversal right there starting at 230. That was interesting to me. If we can get continuation, we break back. Almost set an alert on this right here. If you have Bitstamp data up, it'd be 68.7 right there. Other brokerages will be different. BTC, USD, Coinbase data will be slightly different than that. You need to see a break above 68.8, 35-ish. Gonna break above that. Probably gonna go on higher. Probably gonna rally back above that high right there from just a few days ago. And this pattern, my my roadmap pattern does not work that great on anything less than the daily chart on Bitcoin. So anyway, Ethereum got kind of excited about the spot ETFs, and then there are no spot ETFs to trade right now, so it's just kind of sitting there. They haven't actually hit the market. That's kind of interesting, I guess you might say. All right, so the rules of engagement for the request show: 1 request per person. Please type in capitals so I know it's a ticker. If it's a crypto, please add the USD, like ETHUSD, as you see on the screen. And I'll do them until I get tired, go to the bathroom, get hungry, or run out of tickers. I want to, if we drop below 60 people on the stream, I'll probably end it up in the stream too. So, all right. Got a light showing today. So, EXP. Jump back up to the daily. And there you go, right down to the roadmap line. The drawing. So we've retraced right down to it. If we can hold it, that's basically what you want to see hold right there, that roadmap line right there, 225. Links in the description if you don't have this. It's like $5. Throw it on your chart. This is TradingView. I give you an easy button to throw it on the TradingView. I also give you the code and all the stuff. I'll tell you what EMAs and all that stuff make it up, how to use it right there. So a break back above this 259 area sets it up for 284. But if in fact that was the top, look for support right down in this area. And if we start getting below this low, probably going on down. So that's EXP for you. Alrighty. Mara, what do you want to know? I mean, I already covered it ad nauseum on Monday during the crypto special. If you didn't watch the crypto special on Monday, you should probably go watch it. But there's the support, there's the resistance right there, 26, and right down here, like that. 14 to 17, 18, and 26 is the resistance. We break above the 26, 37 to 39, possibly 46 on the upside. And I talked a lot about it, a lot more than that on Monday. So if you haven't watched the Monday show, Monday was a holiday. Yes, it was. And I did a crypto special yesterday. SGH, which does not give me high confidence it's going to do it. But if we get above these 2350 area, probably 28 up there. And FNV, that looks pretty crap right there. No indication we're going anywhere except sideways. Didn't break below that. An object at rest tends to stay at rest. So sideways would be what I expect, since it's just been doing that for the last 4 years. And Baba working really hard on breaking out of this zone right here. Coming back down to another roadmap bounce potentially. That high, that low. We can hold it right back above the 618. Set up for 92, 94. And possibly that's all we need to get the bigger bounce. There's a bigger bounce in store. We've been working on it. See this low back here? This move up, this retrace. Now we're working on the little itty bitty squiggles of a retrace, or of a new trend, I guess you might say. Potential new trend to blast on out of here. This would just be, small potatoes. The potential for this thing much, much larger, and I'm gonna have to zoom out to a weekly chart to even be able to chart that. And let's just remove everything because I feel like removing it all at this point. That high, that low, bust above that 218 area, could set it up for 355. Holy moly, holy guacamole. Yeah, but it all starts with the reversal down in here, so gotta get her at her. Got to keep it going. So that's the support zone right there. Right there. Got to hold above that 78 zone. If we don't, probably like the groundhog, 6 more weeks of bad. If not 6 more months of bad, possibly going on back down to the 50s. And SMCI looks like complete garbage. Sitting below the resistance right there at 1,000. Support at 670. And further support at 250 to 300. There you go. PNR is coming back to the roadmap line. More than likely. Support right there. If we don't hold support, you know, the extensions apply. So watch for that. We did get below a little bit last time, so a dip below and reverse off. And then, well, I can't really project where the low is going to be, but if it is similar to before, say maybe down around 73, then a move back up to the 618 would set us up for the high at 87. And AMZN didn't break up above the prior highs. It tried, failed. Probably coming back down to the roadmap line. Probably going to grind it back off right there. And there's always the, if we don't hold that, there's the bigger potential for the 618 retrace because it was basically 5 waves up off the lows back there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Retracing deeply back down in the 120, 130 area. Completely expected. That would set us up for a bigger, much bigger up potential off that level. Could go way on up here. We could be talking about substantial up, and that's not even the kind of up we're talking about. We're talking about, yeah, up there around 250, 300. Beautiful potential. But it all starts with got to do the retrace, and a lot of people don't want to watch it retrace that deep. So be careful what you're doing. Walmart crushing it. Did the bounce and the continuation. Pushing extreme targets here. Needs a retrace. Needs a retrace. There's nothing high probability on the upside for now. You could, you could say there should be, but I'll be very, very careful. And did a split in here, 3 for 1. Got the prices back down. So watch out. Did the post split consolidation, now rallying a little bit. Really needs to retrace a little bit. Come back, bounce off the roadmap line, and then set up another high probability target. Oops, wrong one. Wrong tool. Yeah, see, 67% of the time we bounce. Profit factor 4. That's really strong. So the winner's 4 times bigger than the losers. Yeah, I don't want to see that. I want to see that bounce again. All right. AMD had a nice day. Really nice. I started out talking about that on the lower time frames. So resistance up here at 195. Support down here at 95. Yeah, that's a $100 coin flip right there. We're closer, $20 away from $24 away from the upside target. Resistance, long ways from the downside. So risk is to the downside at this point. We did hold right here. If we can get above that 195 area, sets us up to get the extensions, possibly up to 249, 277. There you go. Simple as that. The very short term, 30-minute, 1-hour bounce, resistance, 175, 177. Could rally up to 195 though. And if it does, it's probably gonna keep bouncing up and bouncing down and bouncing up and bouncing down and bouncing up, and then find some resistance, or maybe not. Maybe it just cruises on through. All right, UCO is leveraged. There's not much I can offer on this at this point. Oil is the path, but it possibly did the bounce I was talking about right here a couple of days ago. Won't confirm until we're above 34. Then it's 38. Possibly. Oh, man, I hate it when I move targets. 34. Yeah, 34 sets us up for 38, possibly 40 on the upside. There's the long-term targets from back in November. on UCO, but it is a leveraged instrument. Leveraged instruments don't always follow my patterns. So be careful. None of those have to hit. None of them at all. We came up just shy of the 37 conservative target too and turned down. So that's a lower high. So that's a big caution. Caution, 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 caution. 39 would be the normal target though if we're going to rally up there. And time is always difficult. This was always way back in November. So December, January, February, March, April, May, June, almost to June, 7 months. How long could it take? It could easily take another 7 months to be up here. And I don't know what abacus this is. LMT. Yeah, just bouncing sideways, choppy. Met the resistance, didn't get to the extension. Nothing. Whole bunch of nothing. Met the resistance. Turning down here. Sets the odds we're going to go down here. It bounced up. Resistance, resistance. Couldn't get through. Couldn't break above that high over there. If we break back below the roadmap line, that's the support right there. And then the extension lower below that down here. That's LMT for you. KGC. Kingrass Gold. Nice rally. It's under 10 bucks. So 4 things don't follow my patterns all the time. Low price stuff, under 10 bucks. It's a crapshoot. All right. Cryptos and Forex doesn't count in that. China stuff. So anything dealing with China, leverage stuff, and then anything the FDA, the United States Food and Drug Administration, that's biotech, pharma, medical technology, all that junk, hospital stuff. Anything the FDA gets involved in doesn't follow the patterns. It just does its own thing. So that's kind of where we are on all that. So that all said, possibly we have activated the rally up to 11. That's not really a roadmap bounce on that time frame. We'd have to go up. Still doesn't look very good. Go up. And still doesn't look very good. So not very clean or clear on what it's going to do. Potential to go higher, but also potential to wreck this pattern. There's better, cleaner charts like NEM if you're playing gold. NEM has a much better potential to go higher. Talking about like 120 up here. You may be like, but I can't buy a ton of shares for $8 on NEM. Yeah, well, you can't. So, but even not that one, GOLD Barrick right here. This one even doesn't look that great. So the current one that looks good is NEM. Everything else is kind of marginal on the gold and silver front to me. And GOG, Google kicked off a 30-minute time frame launch, but hanging out in no man's land right there. It fired off a 30-minute bounce right here today. I have a experimental tool that I show my termite trading lab people, and it fired off from that high to that low. Potential to rally up to 180. Watch out. And that's already quite extended on the daily chart. Maybe do a retrace. All right. And I just skipped a bunch of tickers. Awesome. TGLS. Support right there. Yeah, that's it. Support right there. And AXA USD. AXA USD. I don't see AXA USD. SOL USD is just kind of hanging. Could pop, could drop. I don't know. Got that retrace right there. Popped above the 618, rejecting a little bit. If we break back down below this low, it's game over for now. We did rally up above. We got several daily closes above this, but that's not really a daily. It's not really a roadmap line bounce on any kind of time frame that we could pull up. But above the 618 kind of does tip the odds. We possibly could see a rally up to this 305 area. So if we can get the continuation, right up in there would be where I expect. Now, if things get a little overexcited, we could see this thing go way on up. And I talked about that yesterday during the crypto thing. So if you want to know more about crypto and Solana, go look at that. And let's see, XOM. I'm here to, Kayleen, I'm here to evaluate charts, not talk about events. So. Right there, probably heading back down to the roadmap line on the daily for XOM. Came up shy of the target. Bummer. But it wasn't really a roadmap bounce either. Didn't trigger the trade setup right there. See, it didn't trigger. Didn't meet the criteria, so that's not really a bounce on that time frame. It was on that time frame. It came up just shy of the target. Just shy of a 3-day target. 3-day works 75% of the time. And it hasn't failed yet, though. So it has to be $1 below the low back here to fail. And it's more than likely going to go hit the target eventually. Just how long can you wait? How long can you wait? PDD hit the target last week. What do we got now? Nothing high probability. It's highly likely to retrace, but that's not a high probability trade. And we have already been retracing some. So there's, until we hit the roadmap line again, there's not really a high probability setup for that. It got in there, got out there, bingo, bango, boom. Now, if it holds this level where it broke out from, kind of this breakout level over here, that was that high really, where we broke out from. If we hold that, it possibly could rally up to the next level right there, 169. Could even go on up to 193, but there's no like high probability entry or anything like that in there. That was the target, and I'd be off of it now. I'd be done with it for now for me. I didn't trade that one. I kind of watched it a lot, but I didn't trade it. And high USD. Probably going to, yeah, nice potential. Until you zoom out and it's like, well, that looks pretty crap. It's got a major resistance right there to get through. And that looks like just a absolute, that looks like GME kind of. That's where's the low? Right about there. And so resistance up at 28, but it's got a long way to go to get up there. That looks pretty wild. Dun, 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 dun. Update on NUE as a potential long. I can look at it in a second. SMR potentially bouncing, roadmap bounce. That's an entry at the close today, and target 13. But it is low price stuff, so be careful. Doesn't always follow the pattern, and it didn't trigger the roadmap bounce, so it took too long for this bounce to play out. So the stats are not valid on that setup right there. Yeah. All right. Moving on. NUE, huh? For a long, potential long, I wouldn't buy that. Yeah, it looks like it's going to drop. On down. Yeah. Oh, hit the wrong button. Wrong button. Uptrend lows. Probably going to retest that. If we get below it, watch out below. So support is right down there. Now, if we bounce off of that, to bounce off of there, break back above 188, bang, fill the gap. That would be a nice potential, but it's got a lot of work to do to get back up there. Yeah, I don't like it. Don't like it for now. mRNA. Yeah, rallying up, hitting the extension target there, turning down. That's all I really expected that one to do. For now, be careful at this point. It did all the things I expected it to do on the upside. And that's a 3-wave move with an extension. Got to see a 4-5 that gets above the 618 up here. And need to fix the 618. Put it back in the right spot. Golly, that one's just absolutely nuts. That looks a lot like this chart right here, doesn't it? You see that chart? Look at that. Looks so much this similar. I mean, could this be the new rally? It could, or it could just be a hiccup, lower high. So watch out for this set of highs right here. There's going to be bag holders sitting there waiting to sell. And that high, that low. Yeah, the resistance is way the fudge up there. Up there. So watch for this zone would be the next zone to watch out for if we're going to rally. If we turn down and break back below the roadmap line, probably going lower low, on down, that high, that low. Yeah, so roadmap line right at the 618. Get below that, possibly going down to, gosh, conservatively back in the $40, $50 area, right down there for mRNA. Would I be bullish? Not really. ETHX.B. And I'm not pulling up non-US stuff. So, and how about that one? EETH. That's stuck right there at resistance. If it echoes the first move down, right there, can easily go down here. 52. I mean, you might as well look at the Ethereum all-time history here. Possible to break out and go. Possible. This chart looks better than any of the other derivative charts. So, possible for this to come on up 44, possibly 48. It's going to do an echo of that move right there. Possibly up here around 52. Otherwise, it can easily reject this area right here and go back down. So caution would be what I'd have to say on Ethereum. Not convinced yet. Still got a lot of work to do. That high, that low. Turn this thing off because I'm in the way. Came up and found resistance at that 786 level where we topped out back here and here. That's why I'm so cautious about the zone right here. We came right up into it. Got to get above that to convince me we're going up here to new highs. 54, 59, possibly 72, but gotta do something bullish. Rejecting here, turning back down, breaking below the roadmap line is probably indicative we're going on down, maybe back to the below the 4-figure numbers. That's Ethereum for you. TRU, USD, TrueFi. Yeah. Another one looks like absolute garbage. I wouldn't be convinced this is going higher at this point, but yeah, it might. Got a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. And I mean, just look at the resistance from that high to the low. The resistance is all the way up here at like 75 cents. Right where these rejection candles are. Could you make lots of money going from 18 to 75? Sure. Hey, I mean, if that's what you want to try to play. Do I think it's going to new all-time highs at this point? It doesn't have any indication when that's what we're going to do right now. And what do they use it for? Probably nothing. And trading PYPL. Dun, 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 dun. I'm not a hype man on crypto. I believe in some crypto, but in general, most of it's absolute crap. Absolute garbage. Call a spade a spade. Dumpster fire charts all the way around. So right now we've rallied up in a three-wave fashion right there. This move up right here. All like came up shy of an echo off of that right there. Didn't even echo all the way. Found rejection at that gap down area, like right in the gap. Man. If we break down below this 618 zone right here where I've got my alert, probably heading on down here. Probably. Right down like that. Could it hold in here and bounce? Yeah, but that's very overlapping and nasty and not bullish. Not bullish price action. Reminds me of a lot of snow. And link, if we can get above that 19 area, set up for 26. Right there. ELF, Elf Beauty, potential, need the daily close above that line right there, 197. If we do that, 241 upside target. And as far as my tool goes, that took too long to bounce. And, well, it didn't get the close either. I think it's taking too long to bounce. Let's see. Yeah, it might or might not trigger. And it's right on the border of being too much time to bounce. If it does bounce, we redraw a better target. Yeah, that 231 to 240 will be the target right in that zone. Remember, these fib lines are like target zones, are like that. So that's why I draw a big oval up there. That'd be the conservative, that'd be more aggressive, and that's super aggressive. You know, even more aggressive, I guess. So there you go. That's Elf. Dell is just up at the top, and how high does it go? Can't say. Kind of said that this morning. Yeah, up above anything reasonable, but 231 would be the ultimate target I would expect right now. Right up there. If it's going to be absolutely crazy, like SMCI crazy, there you go. APRMW. Nice pop off the golly, growl. Yeah, right in the resistance. Possibly 24 on the upside. Possibly. This one up. Yeah, possibly. Doesn't look... That's not exactly what I call bullish price action, but 24. But that's the only thing I got left to tell you at the moment. We can get a big deep retrace. Be careful. Definitely can do that. So far, it's just 3 waves up off this low. That move up, that retrace. Yeah, 24, 25. That'd be the resistance right there. If we get on up to 33, it could turn bullish, but it's just got a lot of work to do before we do that. And MU has upside targets. Getting close. Between this 135 and 160. Getting really close. That's where I expect it to go. Off that last correction. And XCNUSD. Garbage. Dumpster fire. Dumpster fire. Yeah, there's nothing there. There's not. I can't even chart anything there. That's just... It's dead. I wouldn't expect anything off of that. FSLR. Could be wrong, but that's just not... It's not going to follow my patterns. So... Bestseller, that high, that low. Next upside target, probably 301 right there. Step. Yeah, it's resistance right there. Looking at the bigger high to low. If we can get, did we close above? Did we close above? Yeah, we did close above. So this possibly could be working on something more bullish. 60 upside target. It's probably doesn't have enough candles to, yeah. Doesn't have enough, like, yeah, IPO is too recent ago to show it. So possibly 60, but no high probability anything at the moment. I'd be a hope and a dream, wish, and good luck for step. Shop. Looks like it wants to come on down and visit the support zone right down in this zone. Does have support up here, 51, but it could go as deep as 40 based on the log scale. Things that move more than 50 bucks, I tend to put on the log scale. So right there you go. And yummy. Oh man, it's got potential. Still got potential. Sitting right in the support resistance zone. If we get the next move, could be crazy, but you know, realistic views, 75 to 100 would probably be crazy. So we'll see what happens. I got 12 shares. We'll see what happens. Coin still consolidating this freaking zone. Just want to see it hit this roadmap line. Got resistance from the prior high where we turned down all the way up to 360 area where we topped out up here. And actually we have even more resistance up to 430. If we can get above that high right there, then it's game on to go on extensions. 530, possibly 670. But I would feel a lot better about it if it would just hit the freaking roadmap line right there. Frickin'. But hey, doesn't have to do anything. So got resistance right where we are. So watch for a turn down from right there. All right. STRK USD. Well, that looks like it's going in the toilet. Downtrend. I don't got enough candles to do anything with. Probably going on down. TEVA. That's borderline low price stuff. Pharmaceutical also. 2 strikes against it. And got the resistance right up here at 25. That's not bullish, constructive price action. So where's it going? Not so sure. This thing's already been in a world of hurt before COVID even hit, and just been messing around down here at the bottom. So not very strong looking at this point. Not at all. Not at all. Open. And mess around down the bottom. It's just a complete dumpster fire looking chart. Dumpster fire on the weekly, dumpster fire on the daily. Just a garbage chart. $2. Low price stuff. I don't know. I don't expect it to do anything. No prediction. AVAX USD avalanche potential to hold the roadmap line, but potential to go on down. 27, 23 downside support right there. If we can break above the 51 area, possibly going on higher. Up there at 70. DDOG sitting here on the roadmap line. If we can break above these prior highs right here, that little zone, get back above 132, possibly heading up to 145. If we fail with a lower high, probably coming on down here to this box and this gap down or gap up. It was a gap down and a gap up and same kind of zone there. Probably go retest that if we fail with a lower high here. H bar USD. And just going sideways. Nothing spectacular. Hit the upside target right there on that move, and then just doing nothing but sitting on the roadmap line. Uninteresting. AKAL. Looking like we're at support here. This is the support right there. If we get below that, watch out for the extension lower. So not necessarily good deals. These are scary charts right here. Would I believe it's going to hold? Not so sure at the moment. It could. We got to get above that roadmap line to indicate we're going on up here to like 185 potentially. LQD. That was chart of the week last week, so you can go look at my socials. That's the deal. Entry on a close above 108.60. Target 112. If we don't get it, nothing. No setup. So hadn't fired an entry, hadn't done nothing. And BCHUSD is not really chasing Bitcoin at this point, so it's being lackluster, sitting on the roadmap line. Bitcoin made new highs. Bitcoin Cash making a lower high. That's a sign of a dying chart. Right there. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Dying. That's a lot like GME when you look at it. Big high, lower high, lower high, lower high. Made a little spike here, but still lower high than here. Sign of a dying chart when you zoom out. Now, it has the potential to go, but you know, all those have potentials to go. But small risk could pay out nicely, but it doesn't look good. Even GME doesn't look good. So, just dose of honesty. Is it worth gambling on? I mean, if you know, we're all degenerate gamblers in the stock market, right? So, if you want to be a degenerate gambler, shoot for it, but be careful. UPS has been in this watermelon seed squeeze thing, breaking out downward, which is not bullish at all. In fact, it may result in a drop all the way down to 112. This is just nasty price action, consolidating under the roadmap line, and then extension lower. Would not be unexpected. And that puts us right back at the gap fill. Right over there. Probably going to gap fill. And S-Bucks. Starbucks. Potential rally back to the roadmap line. That's resistance. And cool, we'll move the... And that's support. 56.88. Coin flip in between. Gap down from here at 88. So back to 88 or down to 56. Flip Bitcoin. No high probability. UPST. Looks like it's going down. Slow bleed out. Lower. And render token. Was just sitting there. Not really doing anything. Did the pop, did the retrace, sitting at the resistance right there. Hadn't broken above it. Just sitting there. We did that little bitty blip right there and made a resistance. Made a high right there. And then we retested it. Haven't broken above it. Same pattern as everything else. If we break above it, 14. If we break down below the roadmap line, bigger down. Yeah, probably a little overzealous there. Yeah. Bigger down. Probably back to $1.40. That's render for you. And I just skipped the chat again. I love it when it does that. Let's see, where the fudge was I? There it is. NET. Net is got support down here, resistance at the gap down, and then resistance higher up there. So looks more likely to go tap on this right here to me. Arrow. Tap in there. And HL. Well, resistance right there, and that's where it touched. What do I expect from here? Not much. Low price stuff might follow, might do something, might not do something. Not a very clear 5 up and not a very clear 3 down. Not very clear either way. That high. Just touched the 50, the 50, 50. It could reach on down to the 618 here at 270. It could reach down there. And potential for this to have been the bottom. And it rally up to 24, but it's got to break above that high first. So resistance, resistance, target, and that's just a, yeah, 24, possibly 40. Don't get your hopes up. That's a marginal looking reversal at the moment. If we touched down in here, especially on a fast retrace, that would give me a lot more confidence that we're going to break up higher, but I don't know. HL looks pretty gnarly. NXT, I don't know where you find these funky charts, y'all. I tell you. NXT breaking above. Next target up, 68. Standard bounce. Not going to have triggered the... oh, it did trigger that. Look, that's the entry right there. It did trigger. That was the entry this morning. Dun, 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 dun. And it has no history of doing any of these trades before. That's never fired off on the sticker before. First one ever. Target. Let me just redraw the target. Target for this setup would be right there at 65.32. Can't tell you how long because never done it before. MRVL. Marvel potential right there. That bounce. Didn't fire the entry though. Right up into the resistance at 90. I probably took too long. Betcha. Yeah. Yeah, whole bounce took too long. And it was kind of gnarly with the gaps. But 90 with the upside. BITO. That's just Bitcoin. I mean, I already went over Bitcoin. It turned down at the 618. So that's the resistance right there. Didn't. Well, right there is the resistance to get higher. It's got to be above that. 35. And this one looks better on an adjusted basis, which it didn't hit the roadmap line. So there's the futures open. Didn't hit on the adjusted basis. So take your pick. Did it hit? Did it not hit? That one pays a fair dividend, so that's why It works better on the adjusted basis as far as the numbers go, but resistance there, right there. All right, and SYM. I don't like derivatives either. BITO derivative. Derivatives sometimes, I mean, you might as well go to the underlying chart if you're going to chart stuff. You can use derivatives to play, but you got to look at the underlying chart, like Bitcoin, Ethereum. Don't look at the spot ETFs or anything like that. Those charts they do things, they skew things when you take a derivative. So that's why the leverage stuff doesn't always work, because it's a leverage derivative of an underlying. So this breaking out down to the below could potentially go on further down. It does have a little market roadmap bounce in there. Not the big one. Had this little baby right here. Fired off. Potential to get up here, but I don't know. Looks like it might fail. Getting below the roadmap line. That can result in a big drop. This watermelon seed squeeze situation over here. Be careful. Can result in a big drop. Could be a big pop, but right now we're on the bottom, so big drop. If we break below those prior lows at 38, watch out for something down to 10 or 12. Allison Transmissions. Just got done with one of the market roadmap bounces and back to the roadmap line. Let's do it again. CVX, Charlie Victor X-ray. A few more people join the stream. Find a resistance, support, bouncing in between. No bueno. That's a downtrend of highs. Finding support at the roadmap line. Can we break out? If not, further downside potential. Not a very clear chart at this point. AVGO. I've looked at a lot of charts today, so I just in the last couple of days I've been through about 1,200 charts already. Got lots more to go. AVGO upside target 1,500. Didn't make it all the way down to the roadmap line. Just bounced at support, bounce, extension right up there. And if I use that new extra level, that's 90% of the way to the 1272. That would be 1472, the 1500 area right up there for the targets. And Matic USD looks pretty crap lately. I have to say, below the roadmap line is a danger sign right there. If it can't get its crap together, that's going lower. And get it back above the roadmap line, we can salvage this into the bullishness that has set up. May not get the big up, maybe only up to $2. $1.70, $2. But that's what we got cooking on Polygon. Not much. VRT, it's really wrecked it. VRT just absolute ridiculous targets on the upside. 113, possibly 128, possibly 137. Support at the roadmap line, and it just keeps climbing. Just keeps swimming. There you go. SWBI. Probably coming back to the roadmap line right there. And that one hit. That one hits pretty often. Look at that. 92% hit rate. I just have it trading one share, so that's why the numbers are small. But probably coming back to the roadmap line, then possibly bounce again. Right there. 18, 19 be the upside target. MSTR is way overcooked. Watch for the drop. Sitting at resistance. Roadmap line way down here. Could it pop further? Yeah, could. 21, 24, 22. Well, 21, 25-ish. 21 or 2250-ish. 2580-ish on the upside. but it also could drop back to this 1,000-ish area down here. So be careful. And I'm off of this. Like, I'm not playing this anymore. So I'm just waiting for another high probability bounce. Waiting. IRN. Choppy sideways, less than $10. Probably just keep chopping in that zone. More of that. Between $3 and $7, $9, $3 to $9, $3 to $9, $6 range. Just chop. Choppy. CGC. Looks like a pretty crap chart there. Head and shoulders. Shoulder, head. Marginal. Shoulder, head, shoulder. Yeah. It's kind of like head, shoulder. Watch out for the drop. Back down. And on the non-log scale. Since it's not moving $50, watch out for the drop back down to $2. Yikes. It's back to one of those crap charts I have to keep talking about. High, lower high, crap. Don't get involved in crap charts. Dumpster fires. I don't know why you would think that was going anywhere, but that's a lower high even right there. And DMLP. There's potential for this to be a roadmap bounce. Got to get above this 3360 area to set it up for a potential 3680-ish. And statistics on that one, 74% of the time. Survey says. Reasonable. That one took forever. Holy moly. The entry was back here. Took it till right there. Holy guacamole. It took a long time. Be careful. It's kind of volatile and choppy, so just chop you up. Could take a long time to get there. And that one took, gosh, man. That one took almost 2 years. Whew, that took a while. All right. MSFT. Yeah, upside target. Getting closer. Did the roadmap bounce. Upside target's right up there, 437-ish. Redraw it with the purple line. At 438. Yeah. Good guess, 437 FTI. And sitting at the resistance. Watch for the rollover. And Visa. Watch for the roadmap bounce. Came up shy just a couple weeks ago. And TTT. Ultra Pro short treasuries, huh? That looks like a gnarly thing. Leveraged. I'm not sure that's doing anything. That's. Yeah, I got nothing on that chart for you. Sorry. It's not a chart I'm trading. Not a chart I already did render. Shop. Already did shop. Square. Watch for it to break below this support because we may go lower down to the 30s. And NEM already covered. PANW. Resistance right up in here. We gap down and we've come up right to the gap, and we keep finding resistance that can lead to a drop down to support right there. So huge resistance right here, consolidated before we popped, and then we just gapped down below it, came up, hit the resistance, same spot exactly. That's a major resistance. Watch out. If we can clear it, we're gonna have to take a move all the way up to 363, 413 above that. So NVDA, nothing changed from this morning. Upside targets are still the same. Almost got to the 1150, 1145, 1150. Might have spiked it. Oh, it did spike it. So it spiked that target. Next target up, 1250. That'll put it up. Getting close to Microsoft. Maybe take a may take a move up to 1300 to catch Microsoft. Right there. Run for Microsoft's money. Closing the gap here. At 1250, NVIDIA should be the largest company in the land. Is it going to rally into the split? Quite possibly. Of course, it could all fail. The split could be the big retrace, so be careful. Right there, 10th of June. All right. Charlie Victor Sierra looks like crap and keeps going lower. Has not been able to find support at all. Just keeps going lower. 47 and 43 next downside target areas. Didn't do any of the bullish stuff. Watch out below. 47 next downside target. MDT. Just choppy sideways. Yeah. Nothing. Could it be building a reversal? It could, but that was the lowest low, so ugh. Not great looking. You'd be like, well, it's a shoulder, possible head, another shoulder, maybe, possibly it's doing that, but it's a stretch. Usually we don't have extra appendages hanging out if it's a clean chart. So it's not very clean. Set a lower highs. It's also not constructive for going higher. Be careful. You can easily make another lower low on MDT Nike. And we're below 60 people. So I'm going to wrap this up here in a second. Do a couple more and then I'll wrap it up. And Nike looks like it, if it doesn't hold support, going on down here to 68. And Meta is just hanging in the middle below the resistance. If it turns down, probably target right down here around 350. If it can break out, 568. And hood, potential target right up there at 24. Excuse me. Right there. All right. Looks like I caught up with the chat too. And now everybody's dropping like flies. So if I said anything that was helpful, beneficial, make sure you give me a like or thumbs up on the video. Otherwise, same bat time, same bat channel, first thing in the morning, 9:15 in the morning. I'll be going through what's moving for the market today, what's popping, what's dropping, what's moving the market around. We'll be covering it all live every morning at 9:15. Come, make sure you watch me